Today we're going to look at the wrath of Yahuah. This is highly prophesied. This is highly prophesied in the Bible, but as usual, anything that has to do with the end times, anything that has to do with anything that is not attractive is ignored by the mainstream church, because we know that the mainstream church is fueled by some good news, by telling things that sound attractive to people. If people hear things that that attract them, then they will come to our assemblies and they will pay their tithes and offerings. So the hard stuff is kind of shifted in the background. As I said in a Facebook Live a couple of days ago, that Babylon is hardly ever spoken about because there is destruction for Babylon in the end. That too is also hardly spoken about. So too is the day of Yahuah. And we know that many persons have been getting dreams about a day of destruction. And that has been happening also in this group. So we just like to look at what biblically what this day of destruction is. Because we know that we did a video we posted a couple of days ago, 3 moons and 2 dreams, where persons affiliated with this group had 3 persons affiliated with this group had dreams of seeing all three of them had dreams of seeing 2 moons, and 2 of them showed the moons actually clashing, and one of them showed darkness covering the earth after the clash. So we know that this is speaking about the day of Yahuah. And sometime last year I did a Facebook Live based on a dream that a young lady had, a young Christian lady had. And she had sent it to someone and the person forwarded it to me. I guess maybe it's best then to go to scripture to see exactly what it says about the day of Yahuah. So when we are speaking here today now, we are not speaking and saying this is going to happen today, this is going to happen tomorrow, or next week, or whenever. Because whenever Yahuah brings forth things, they are not usually immediately clear. As Peter said in 1 Peter 1. All right, go ahead.
1 Peter 1 verse 10. Of which salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, who prophesied of the grace that should come unto you.
Okay. Go ahead.
Searching what? Or what manner of time the Spirit of the Master which did signify, when it testified beforehand the suffering of Yahushua HaMashiach, the glory that should follow.
All right. Go ahead. Continue.
Unto whom it was revealed, that not unto themselves, but unto us that did not minister the things, which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Holy Spirit sent down from heaven.
Okay, that's it. So what this is actually saying is that the prophets prophesied, but they didn't even actually know what they were prophesying about. They were seeing things happening, but they didn't know for what time and how it would be manifested. Okay? So this is what we're saying. That's what we're saying when you're looking at prophecy, we are not saying this is happening X, Y, Z, but we're saying that this will come to pass. As it said in the book of Habakkuk, though the vision tarry, it shall speak, and it shall not lie. All right? So we're gonna play the first, the dream from the girl that covered the wrath of Yahuah. I hope you can hear it.
My name is Michelle Graham, and to be sending around this message, I have to have the strength and the courage to send around this voice message. But I see that God is using me to give a message to his people.
Are you hearing clearly?
And I've got this vision from Sunday morning.
Hello.
6 o'clock, and I didn't wake up out of the vision until after 8.
You can hear it, Pedro?
It was 2 hours of chaos.
Just, yeah, but I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
I realized that God is giving me a message to warn his people. And this is serious. At the time when I woke up, I was wondering what to do. I was confused. I was praying, asking God to show me and lead me and direct me and show me the right thing to do. Well, this is it. Sunday morning, I was in my bed. I woke up and then I fell back asleep. But it seems like I wasn't sleeping. I don't know how to explain it. But while I was in my sleep, I got this vision. I was at this place. There was a lot of people at the place. There was about 1 billion, thousands of people was at the place. While we was at the place, there was this thing falling out of the sky.
Okay, first of all, the amount of people that are there. So maybe 1 billion, that's a whole lot of people that were there. And there are about 2 billion Christians worldwide. And there are 7.8 billion people worldwide. So this could either be speaking of the whole world, or it could be speaking of the entire world of believers, so-called Christians.
The thing that is falling out of the sky looked like it's a fog or a cloud. It was coming down out of the sky, and it fell on the ground. When it fell on the ground, it running through the trees, and it running on the earth, running. And it running over people. When it ran over people, they eventually died.
What she's describing here, and from what I see, is the wrath of Yahuah that is planned, that is promised to the earth in these end times. Another plague, second Egypt, as he delivers his people. Let's go.
So I was running. There's a lot of people running and looking shelters and looking rescue and crying out to God and asking, what is this? And it keep on falling out of the sky, the cloud, the fog, everything, and then it overtook you and then you died. So I was running with the crowd. Then
another thing she spoke about a crowd. She was running with the crowd. And that crowd is a crowd of maybe she said 1 billion people. And that reminds me of the wide gate. You know, there's a wide gate that leads to destruction and a narrow gate that leads to life. So that huge crowd reminds me of the wide gate.
And I find myself stopped. Glory to God. When I find myself stopped, I looked up into the sky. When I looked up into the sky, I saw a writing. I didn't see the hand that writing, but when I looked up into the sky, I saw a writing saying, judgment is coming soon.
Okay, so this is telling us that what she saw was not the judgment, but the prelude. Judgment is coming soon, the wrath of Yahuah. Judgment is coming soon.
I cried out to the people who were trying to look for rescue because it was running from the fog, running from the chaos, and it was devastating. And I was there standing and looking up, and when I stand up and look up in the sky, I see judgment is coming soon.
Now the clouds and all of that, it kind of brings to mind nuclear nuclear activity, a nuclear bomb or something like that. When the cloud covers the people, it kills the people. No, that's what comes to mind. Don't know what comes to your mind.
Then when I called to the people, they stopped and they looked up. Glory to God. When they stopped and they looked up, it disappeared. They didn't see it. I'm the only one who see it. Anyway.
Okay, she said she was the only one who saw it. That means what was written was not for everyone, but it was for her. She saw it. So she was chosen to see this message.
When they eventually looking up and crying and asking what is going on, when they look up, there was some word forming out in the sky. The word forming out and everyone was crying and asking, what is this? They couldn't understand it. I turned to them and said, the word is in Hebrew language.
All right, stop right there. The word is in Hebrew. It was not given for everyone to see. It was only given for her to see. And she knew that it was in Hebrew. That means it is a message for the Hebrews. It's not a message for everyone. It's a message for the Hebrews. And she was chosen to know that the message and the words were written in Hebrew. And when we see what she deciphered, what she saw was written, we will get a little more understanding.
No one could read it. I could read it, but I didn't speak Hebrew language. Then the only thing that I recognized, there was no one else there. There was billions of people, thousands of people crying and calling upon God. And then when I looked up, I am the only person that see a hell.
Stop right there. This is very important. She was the only person that saw A-L. Now, A and L in the Hebrew, this is where it gets really interesting. This is where the revelation is. She saw that it was written in Hebrew, and she saw the letters A and L. Now, the letter A, we're going to look at each letter and see what the letters are saying and unravel this mystery and the rest of the mystery. The letter A in Hebrew is Aleph. Okay? Alpha and Omega, Aleph and Tav. And the various meanings of this root are oxen, yoke, and learn. Most importantly, learn. It is the first letter of the word emet or amet in the ancient Hebrew, which means truth. So in effect, the letter A is saying, learn truth. Aleph also begins the 3 words that make up Yahuah's title that he gave to Moshe in Exodus 3:13, I think, when he says, go and tell the children of Israel, Ahyeh, Asher, Ahyeh, or Ahaya, Asher, Ahaya. I am that I am. That's the A that makes up all 3 of those. Okay? So that is the importance of the letter A. Now the letter L, let me see. Oh, the letter L, let me find the letter L. When we pair the letter A with the letter L, we get the letter L in the Hebrew is Lamed. And when we pair the letter A with the letter L, we get the name that is translated into English as God, which is El or Al in the Paleo Hebrew. So the A and the L comes together, spells the title of the Father, El or Al, El from which we get Elohim. Okay? But we're going to see into L, match up with the A, we can see what the Father is telling her. The 12th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and we know 12 is the number of governmental authority. So the authority of the Father is being stamped on this dream when he gave the letter L to her. Okay? And the thing about the letter L is it is the tallest letter in the Hebrew alphabet. It's the only letter that towers above the rest. And it is considered the 12th letter, the middle letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Since Lamed towers over the other letters from its central position, it is said to represent Melech Elohim, the King of Kings. Okay? This idea is supported by the idea that the preceding letter stands for Kisei Achabod, the throne of glory, and the following letter stands for Malchut, or kingdom. All right? So, the original meaning of Lamed means to prick, to sting, to incite, and to goad. So what the Father is doing, he's pricking her, inciting her to do something. And we shall see what it is inciting her to do. Okay? And the letter itself comes from the root lamad, which means to learn or teach. So he gave the letter Aleph, A, which means to learn. And he gave the letter Lamed, L, which means to learn and to teach. So it's a perfect synergy there. What he's actually telling this girl is to learn her Hebrew roots, okay? So that she can teach others. I'm going to show you, make you hear the rest of the dream and you will see what I'm saying. It says learning and teaching here together in the name. On the number 12. 12 signal of governmental authority and to teach. Okay? And this first occurs in the beginning of Lamed to learn or teach. First occurs in Devarim or Deuteronomy 4, verse 1. When Yahuah said, "And now, O Israel, listen to the statutes and the rules that I am teaching you." First time it appears in the Bible, it says, listen to the statutes and the rules that I am teaching you. Listen to the law. So from this, we can see that the first business of learning, remember he gave her the A and the L, which means both mean to learn. The first business of learning is Mishneh Torah. Okay? Learning the Torah. So since Lamed is the tallest of the Hebrew letters, it draws our attention to the source of all learning, namely the Torah itself or the law. Right? As a Christian, you don't know or understand Torah, understand the law. I'm trying to get to the part where she said, when they started running and they ran to the church. And when they ran to the church, when they ran to the church, the door was closed. That's the part that I was trying to get to. And at that time, we didn't know that the doors of the church would be closed as they are today. And when I remembered her dream, it came back to mind when she said that. All of the people started running to the church. And when they went to the church, the doors were closed. And while Wayne is here, we were speaking about the wrath of Yahuah and speaking about dreams that people were having to show that something is amiss, something is up, something is happening, going to happen in these last days. And the Most High is pointing us to it. Don't know when, don't know where, but let's hear Wayne's dream. We already heard the girl's dream. Let's hear Wayne's dream. All right, Brother Wayne.
Okay, shalom, everyone. The dream goes like this. I went somewhere. It was a very huge area, like a football field. In fact, it might be bigger than a football field. And I saw so many people there, and they were looking up. So I went about where I was going, So on the way back, I look up also. And what I saw in the sky was dark, thick clouds. And between those clouds, there are like very fine flames of fire forming along those clouds. And in no time, like in seconds, that small flames become real big fire coming down on earth in a speed. And everyone started to run. So in the dream, I said to myself, there is no way they can outrun this fire because it was coming down so fast. And I think to myself, and I was going to run also, but I did not run. I turned around and I saw my girls and I hold them in the form of a covering, like I'm trying to save them. And then I just wake up. So I didn't fully understand the dream. I called Brian and I explained the dream to Brian and I said to him, I think that means I will not experience that fire, because of course I woke up before anything happened. So I get to find out that really, and in fact, something of that sort is actually in the Bible.
All right, Joel 2 verse 1.
Joel 2 verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahuah cometh, for it is nigh at hand.
2.
A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness. As the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not ever been the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations.
Continue.
A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them.
All right, so this is Brother Wayne's dream here about the flames. All right. So this again is speaking of destruction once again. Just keeping in line with what we are speaking about, the wrath of Yahuah. That people are actually dreaming of it, and it is slated to come true. What we want to look at now where the Bible tells us about the day of Yahuah, to kind of get it into perspective and get us to realize that there is coming a day in the end, a day that none of us wants to see, a terrible day that will be the consummation of the times, as was given in the dreams about the moons. In the dreams, when the moons clash together, then we have the day of Yahuah. That is when the heavens and everything will there will be such activities that mankind would have to cover because of the power that will be manifest. And this will happen in the end times as we are speaking, that man is trying to set up his world order, and the Most High is going to bring down his wrath at the right time and destroy what man is doing and set up his order. All right? So let's look at what the Bible says about the day of Yahuah. And we're going to start at Malachi 4.
For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly, shall be stubble. And the day cometh shall burn them up, said Yahuah of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch.
All right, so it's going to burn them up, burn up their whole family, neither root nor branch. But unto you, verse 2.
But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and he shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall.
Okay, that means that when this day comes, it will be yes, like how we're having this virus, and I call the coronavirus a smart virus because it works by getting rid of the wickedness and the evil and the sin and bringing forth righteousness. All the evil that men love takes it away, and men are forced to follow after righteousness. Likewise, on this day, the wicked will also, it will also be a smart day where the wicked will be targeted and the righteous will be protected. Verse 3.
And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, said Yahuah of hosts.
And he will even give strength to his people to tread down the wicked. Yeah? The wicked of the earth. And we hear people saying that we must be sorry for the wicked. Wicked are perishing, and we are told we must be sorry for them. This is telling us that we too will tread them down. Continue.
Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel, with the statutes and judgments.
All right. So the final thing that he's telling us, in order to be righteous, we have to remember the Torah. We have to remember the law, which was commanded to us. This is what sets us apart from the wicked. All right? When people will tell you that the law is done away with, no, the law shows us what sin is. If we obey the law, we do not sin. All right? So we need to walk in righteousness, and we walk in righteousness in obedience to the Torah by following the Son of the Most High, Yahushua HaMashiach. More about the wrath of Yahuah. Yeshayahu 2 verse 12, Isaiah 2 verse 12.
Isaiah 2 verse 12. For the day of Yahuah of hosts shall be upon everyone that is proud and lofty, and upon everyone that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low.
Again, it will be an intelligent affliction, all right? It will target all the proud and the lofty, and we know the proud and the lofty speaks primarily to Edom, and he shall be brought low. Verse 13.
And upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan.
All right, let's go to verse 20 now.
In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made each one for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats.
So it will also target idolatry. Go to verse 21.
To go into the clefts.
And by the way, this also speaks to the rich, right? And we see a particular thing that is happening with the rich men of today who are in charge of those corporations. Hundreds of them are resigning from those corporations. And these people have their bunkers in the hills, in the clefts of the rocks. All right? Let's go to verse 21 and see what's happening. Because we hear that this is what is happening, that these people know what is coming upon this earth. And these people are getting ready to flee from the wrath that is to come. Verse 21.
To go into the clefts of the rocks and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for the fear of Yahuah and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth, and to shake the terrible earth.
To shake terribly the earth. So,
terribly the earth.
Up to yesterday, I was watching a video that is showing us a lot of people are watching the skies, and they are seeing that there are some huge things that are going on up there that are being hidden. A lot of activities that are happening in the skies. People seeing other heavenly things looking like planets that are hovering. And it is said that these people know what is coming and are preparing now to run when the wrath of Yahuah hits. Not saying this is so, but bear this in mind, because it is saying that they will run to go into the clefts of the rocks, and we know that they have their bunkers ready to flee into the clefts of the rock. Yeshayahu 13. Another prophecy of the day of again. These prophecies are usually avoided, right? And it is telling us also that this day of Yahuah is the judgment of Babylon. And we know that Babylon is now already being hit and weakened during this time. Isaiah 13 verse 1. Read please.
The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. Lift up a banner upon the high mountain. Extol the voice unto them. Shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness.
All right, so he's called his people for his anger. He will use his people to execute his anger. Verse 4.
The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdom of nations gathered together. Yahuah of hosts mustereth the host of the battle.
Continue.
They come from a far country, from the end of the heaven, even Yahuah and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
All right. Verse 6.
Howl ye, for the day of Yahuah is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt.
So this is a consistent thing with the day of Yahuah. It is going to be so terrible. The day is going to be so terrible that every man is going to not be able to stand it, to wilt at the sheer power. Verse 8.
And they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrow shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames.
All right, so this day is going to be so terrible. People are going to look at each other and can't believe what is happening, what they are seeing happening. All right? They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. Verse 9.
Behold, the day of Yahuah cometh.
All right, see, this is a consistent thing. The day of Yahuah. Continue.
Behold, the day of Yahuah cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it.
All right, so we see the target is also going to be, it is going to be smart as usual, and it's going to target the wicked, it's going to target the sinners. And of course, we know that sinners knows no nation. All right? The sinners, as he said before, the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. These sinners include our people. That's why we are called to turn to him. And that's why the Apostle Shaul says he wished he was condemned for the sake of his brethren, that they might be saved. Might be saved. Isaiah 13:10.
For the stars of heaven and the constellation thereof shall not give their light.
Okay, stop there. So we see once again here, this day is attached to something that is happening in the heavenly realms. Stars of heaven and the constellations shall not give their light. It will be a darkness up there. Something will happen that will make the entire world be in darkness. And remember Sister Queenie's dream. Sister Queenie, all right, give me the last part of the dream that you had when the moons collided. Tell me what happened in the sky and how the earth was dark. Just give me a little recap of that.
Yes, when the moons collided, the moons were very pale, but one was a bit brighter than the other. And when they collided, the entire earth was dark, it was desolate. But there was another light, a little explosion light that lit up the earth. And it was in the colors of the rainbow, 7 colors. And it said something that when it rains, it will be absorbed, something of that sort.
All right. So that when it rains, it is absorbed. Is actually saying that he will keep his covenant with his people, because it goes back to the covenant with Noah. And as we always teach, that no covenant is done away with. He will keep all of his covenants to the very end. So that is saying that he will keep his covenant with his people, that even though there is destruction, his people will still be saved once again, just as in the days of Noah. But the point with that is that the constellations thereof shall not give their light. And as she said, the world was in darkness. This is exactly what it is talking about. Continue.
The sun shall be darkened in its going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine.
Okay, so this is the same thing that Queen's dream is about. All right? And here what will happen next, verse 11.
And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity.
Go ahead.
And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease,
Mm-hmm.
and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
All right, so once again, we see the proud being targeted. The proud, the proud, the proud. It's a constant theme, all right? And I will lower low the haughtiness of the terrible. Verse 12.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
In other words, there will be so much destruction and so much death. Few men will be left upon this earth. Verse 13.
Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place, in the wrath of Yahuah of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger.
Okay, so what is coming in these end times? It is so terrible. No, don't even want to think about it. Verse 14.
And it shall be as the chaste roe, and as a sheet that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee one into his own land.
So everybody will leave and turn back to their own people. Verse 15.
Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
So this is the Most High telling us that everything one that is joined unto them. Who is them speaking about? Is it speaking to Babylon? Everyone that is joined to Babylon shall fall by the sword. And we remember in Revelation 18:4, when it is speaking about Babylon, let's go there. Revelation 18:4, when it's speaking about Babylon.
And I've heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin, and that he receive not of her plagues.
All right. So here's the thing. Come out of her, my people. My people are speaking about the Israelites, all right? My people. That ye be not partakers of her sins. In other words, if you are in the midst of Babylon, entwined with Babylon, then you are judged, Israelite, to be partaking of her sins, all right? And if you partake of her sins, then you will receive of the same plagues that has been given to Babylon. So when we go back to this now, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Same thing, everyone that is joined unto Babylon shall be destroyed. Verse 16.
Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoilt, and their wives ravished.
What does this remind us of? This reminds us of slavery. This is what they did to our people in slavery, right? Houses spoiled, wives ravished, children dashed in pieces. Verse 17, that is justice from the Most High. Verse 17.
Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it.
Continue.
Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children.
Verse 19.
And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when Yahuah overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
All right, so this is speaking about Babylon itself. All that we just spoke about, the wrath of Yahuah, is upon Babylon, and we know that Babylon now is the entire world. Babylon is a system, a religious system plus a system of wealth, the system that our entire world lives on, the banking system, financial system, religious system. This is Babylon that we are living in. And the children of Israel will be freed in the end from Babylon through the wrath of Yahuah. And so this is why when we see Babylon being spanked today, the righteous among our people who know and understand what is happening, the righteous know and understand that it is Babylon that is being punished. Those who do not understand will say, oh, we're so sorry for them, and they're so this and they're so that. This is the righteous, the wicked that is being punished by the Most High. The righteous will see it, and the righteous will understand. More about the day of Yahuah. Amos 5 verse 18. Because we have to know about the day of Yahuah. Right? It is a day that we should...
Amos 5:18.
Yes.
Woe unto you that desire the day of Yahuah. To what end is it for you? The day of Yahuah is darkness and not light.
Darkness again. Continue.
As if a man did flee from a lion, and a bear met him, or went into a house and lean his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him.
In other words, the day of Yahuah, no matter where the man goes, he's going to find affliction. There's no rest. He can't hide from the wrath of Yahuah. Verse 20.
Shall not the day of Yahuah be darkness and not light?
Even very dark, and no brightness in it. Darkness once again. The wrath of Yahuah. Zephaniah 1 verse 7. More of the wrath of Yahuah. Read, please.
Zephaniah 1 verse 7. Hold thy peace at the presence of Yahuah, for the day of Yahuah is at hand. For Yahuah hath prepared a sacrifice, he hath bid his guests.
Continue.
And it shall come to pass in the days of Yahuah's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such as clothed with strange apparel.
All right, so all that are clothed with strange apparel, all of those are over the side of Babylon. All right? And these princes and king's children speaks of the rulers of the earth, and it's the powerful, rich, powerful leaders of this earth. All right? They will finally get their punishment for all the evil that they are bringing on this earth. Verse 9.
In the same day also will I punish all those that leap in the threshold, which fill their master's house with violence and deceit. And it shall come to pass in that day, said Yahuah, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and an owling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills.
Continue.
Howl, howl, ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off.
So this is speaking of the people with money, the rich people, the merchant people. And we remember it says in Revelation 18, it speaks about the merchant. Let's go there. Destruction of Babylon once again. Verse 6.
Revelation 18 verse 6. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she had filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself, and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I will sit a queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow.
All right. So this is the day of Yahuah when Babylon is being punished. Yeah, all right? Babylon thought that they would last forever, that they will continue to live off the people of this earth, because right now Babylon is in the process of executing their plan to enslave the whole world in a system they call the New World Order. All right? So they are going up busily about their thing, thinking everything is okay, everything is all right, executing their thing. Wrath of Yahuah is on them. Continue, please.
Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, and mourning, and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is Yahuwah Elohim who judged her.
All right, continue.
Judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning.
All right. Verse 10.
Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for is in 1 hour, or is thy judgment come.
Verse 11 now, talking about the merchants as we spoke about. This is what we're linking. Go to verse 11.
And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore.
Yes. All right. So the merchants that he's speaking about in Zephaniah, speaking about Babylon. So this day of Yahuah is going to be upon Babylon. Let's go back to Zephaniah now, when it says, holding from the second gate.
Howl, ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchants' people are cut down, and they that bear silver are cut off.
Continue.
And it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles, and punish the men that are settled in their lees, and say in their hearts, Yahuwah will not do good, neither will he do evil.
All right, this Jerusalem is speaking about Israelites, all right? They will be punished who say, Yahuwah will not do good, neither will he do evil, which means, okay, things will always go on as they always have. We will continue to live though we are living. Nothing will happen to us, all right? Verse 13.
Therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof.
Continue.
The great day of Yahuwah is near. It is near, and hasteneth greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahuwah, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly.
All right, the mighty men, the rich men and powerful men of this earth, they shall cry bitterly. And once again, reiterating what we have heard so many times, verse 15.
That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness.
Okay. Verse 16.
A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers.
Against the fortifications, those places that they thought were impregnable. These will be destroyed. Verse 17.
And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahuwah.
All right, all right. So men will be distressed and they will walk like blind men. They will have no leadership. They will be like when you cut off the head of a chicken. Don't know where to turn. Because they have sinned, and this is the wrath that is upon Yahuwah, which is what we want to focus on next. Why the wrath and how to avoid it? Because they have sinned against Yahuwah. Continue.
And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung.
Verse 18.
Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahuah's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all of them that dwell in the land.
Zephaniah 2 verse 1, more of the wrath of Yahuah. We'll kill you with the wrath of Yahuah to show you that this is a big part of Bible prophecy. Read, please.
Zephaniah 2 verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
Which nation is this not desired? Yasharal. Verse 2.
Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as chaff, before the fierce anger of Yahuah come upon you, before the day of Yahuah's anger upon you come upon you.
Seek ye
Yahuah, all he meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yahuah's anger.
All right, so this is a prescription to avoid this wrath. We see this wrath that sounds so terrible. This is the prescription to avoid the wrath, to be one of those who are sheltered in this day of trouble. Seek Yahuah, seek righteousness, seek meekness. Meekness is the opposite of pride. And we see that it is the proud that his wrath will be on. Humble. It may be, ye shall be hid in the day of Yahuah's anger. Just maybe you may be hid. All right, so we looked at the wrath of Yahuah as was prophesied. All right, so what we want to look at now is what kind of people ought we to be to avoid this wrath, because we know that a people will be sheltered and will be set apart in the time of his wrath. What type of people ought we to be to avoid this wrath? And for that we go to Matthew 25, a very common parable. Matthew 25 verse 1. Read, please.
Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
Continue.
And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with the lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
While the bridegroom did what? Tarried. And we hear people say, oh, from a little boy till now me here said, this a come. And then said, Jesus a come. From a little boy till now me hear about this and that, and not now. The bridegroom tarried. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight, there was a cry made. Continue, verse 6.
And at midnight, there was a cry made. Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying,
you're going too fast now. You're leaving me. Then the virgins arose and trimmed their lamps.
All those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps.
All right. And the foolish?
And the foolish said unto the wise, give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
All right. So they realized that they were not prepared. But what did the wise say?
But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But ye go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves.
So the last minute now, these people were now trying to get their oil. But what happens in verse 10? And while they went to buy,
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut.
All right. So while they went to buy, so it was a season, the time of the Messiah. Everything was looking like the bridegroom was coming, and people were announcing, Messiah soon come, Messiah soon come. That was when they were getting prepared, when they should have been prepared a long time ago. Yeah? And while they were getting prepared, the bridegroom came, and he only took who were ready with him into the marriage. And then he shut the door. What does that mean? It means that after he took those who were prepared, he closed the doors on those who were not prepared. So they have no chance of getting prepared. Verse 11.
Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Master, Master, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not.
All right, he doesn't know them because they were not prepared. And we go to Matthew 7:11 for that I know you not. Matthew 7:21.
Not everyone that said unto me, Master, Master, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
All right, so we have here, not everyone that saith unto me, Master, Master. That means these people are those who say they believe in the Messiah. They say they believe in the Messiah, all right? But he's saying that, no, not everybody who says that, but you have to do the will of my Father, which is in heaven. Now, this cancels out almost all Christians, all right, who say that they only have to believe in Jesus. Yeah, they say Jesus and nothing else. But what does the Bible say? Revelation 14:12 tells us.
Revelation 14 verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahuah and the faith of Yahusha HaMashiach.
Okay, this is it. The patience of the saints. The saints are the holy ones, the set apart ones. And we know these are the people who are going to enter the kingdom. And here, after the colon, there's a colon that tells you that what comes after the colon describes what is there before the colon. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahuah and the belief of Yahusha. So it's not enough to just believe in Yahusha, you have to also keep the commandments of Yahuah. So let us go back. Read 7:21 again.
Not everyone that saith unto me, Master, Master, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
Continue.
Many will say unto me in that day, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works?
I swear that this when the Messiah was speaking, he was thinking about Christians. It's exactly describes Christians. Right? They are going to be say and believe, oh, prophesy, prophet this and prophet evangelist that. And we've cast out devils. That's what they boast here about. You know, when they're telling them that the name is false and this is false. They tell about miracles and this in his name. And in thy name done many wonderful works. But let's see what he will tell those. Verse 23.
And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
Or ye workers of lawlessness. This is it. He will profess unto them, I never knew you. Because guess what? The Most High lets them believe a lie if they do not want to believe the truth.
Truth, yep.
All right? So they are believing the lie, thinking that they have a relationship with him. But he's going to tell them, and a Jamaican, move from yourself. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. All right? And I never knew you. Let's go to the precept to show that they will think that he knows them when they will be living a lie. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians. All right, verse 9. Read, please.
2 Thessalonians 2, verse 9. even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and sign and lying wonders.
This is telling you, and not everything that you see, miracles and all sorts of things that have been done in Jesus' name. Yes, it's after the working of Satan. If it is not after the truth, it is after the working of Satan. He also has powerful signs and wonders that are done. Right? And we're gonna see why and who allows this to happen. Verse 10.
And with all deceivableness of righteousness, of unrighteousness in them that perish.
All right, you know what this is saying here? All deceivableness of unrighteousness. Unrighteousness is going to deceive us. All right? So we are going to be doing the unrighteousness, and it is going to be working. Right? And so it is going to deceive us. Which is what we tell the Christians. Calling on a false name, and it works, yes. But you are in unrighteousness because you are worshiping a name that is the name of an idol. You are eating pork. You are doing all sorts of unrighteousness, keeping the unholy feasts, Christmas and Easter and all of those. You are all unrighteousness, but it is deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, which means that they will perish in the end. Because, continue.
Because they receive not the love of the truth,
this
that
is
they
key.
might be saved.
This is the key. That is why they are going to be deceived by unrighteousness, because they love not the truth, and so that they might be saved. That means they cannot and will not be saved in the end. Continue in verse 11.
And for this cause Yahuah shall send them strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie.
All right, so he sent them a delusion. So he's actually going to make the lie look so powerful, look so much like the truth, that they should believe a lie. Can you imagine? Verse 12, that they all might be damned.
Who believeth not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
So this is Christianity for you, wrapped up right here. We tell them that it is a lie, they continue to follow it because it works. It works. Miracles, and they heal people in Jesus, they do all of things, it works. But guess what? It is the delusion. And this is what we need to know about Yahuah. If you do not want to believe him, he's going to let you believe a lie. Let me cement that with first. All of this part of it, I haven't planned it, but the leading of the Spirit. Proverbs 1 verse 25, I think, to 26.
Proverbs 1:22. How long, ye simple ones, will he love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
You hear that? Those who hate knowledge are called fools. Right? When we come and try to tell them the truth and try to tell them that they have been deceived and give them knowledge, they reject it. They hate it. They don't want to hear. All they want is their Jesus. Fools hate knowledge. Continue verse 23.
Turn ye at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you.
In other words, what I'm sending to tell you, turn, man, turn. And if you turn, I will pour out my spirit to you. I will let you get the understanding. Verse 24.
Because I have called, and he refused. I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded.
We keep coming to these people trying to tell them truth, but they refuse it. So guess what in verse 25?
But he have not set at naught all my counsel, and would none of my reproof.
So whatever we come to them and tell them, they don't want to hear. And when we try to reprove them and rebuke them, say you're doing the wrong thing, they don't want to hear. So guess what our Father will do. Pardon?
Somebody is drinking soup or something, and it's really, really annoying.
Okay. Oh, the person has muted their mic? Okay.
It seems that way. Thanks.
All right. Verse 26. Let's see what our Father will do.
I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
All right. So the Most High says he will laugh at your calamity. He will mock when your fear cometh. Verse 27.
When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you.
All right. So he's going to laugh when everything gets bad on you and now you start turning to him. He's going to just laugh at you. He doesn't want to listen. He's not even going to listen to you. Verse 28.
Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer.
Whoa. Not even an answer. They shall?
They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
Whoa. Why is that now? Verse 29.
For they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the master.
All right. They did not choose the fear of Yahuah, and they hated knowledge. All right. Verse 30.
They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof.
Continue.
Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices.
In other words, he leads them up to believe whatever they want to believe. They shall eat the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Anything that they want to say, anything that they want to do, he will make it seem to be true. All right? And why does he do this? He does this to destroy them. Verse 32.
For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them.
All right. And verse 33.
But whosoever hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
In other words, the day of Yahuah. To avoid the day of Yahuah, we just have to hearken unto the Most High. Hearken unto him and we will dwell safely. So when the wrath is over us, nothing can harm us. And shall be quiet from fear of evil. We were at, what was it again? The virgins, and we reach all the way up here. All right. And in verse 13 of the parable, after he said he didn't know them, he gave this advice. Verse 13.
Watch therefore, for he know neither the day nor the hour when the Son of Man cometh.
So we have to watch. All right? This is how you are prepared as the wise virgin. Watch and be prepared. All right?
Right.
Yes?
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, man.
The section where you just made mention about the Christian, all because it works, they believe it is a real deal, right?
Yes.
They might call on a name and things happen and they feel like, say, yes, this is a real deal.
Yes.
I have a experience that matches with that.
Yeah.
And please, I'm asking you, don't make fun of my experience, of my examples now.
No, I won't.
All right. Okay. Last year, right?
Yeah.
I replaced the engine, in a '95 Ford Probe.
Okay, I see why you say it must make fun, because you're always using cars as an analogy.
Right. So the engine was up in the '95 Ford Probe.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find an engine for that car. And come to find out, I called some places, and I understand that the '93 Mazda 626 could work.
Yeah.
So I bought the engine, do the swap, and do the installment, and it worked. The car drive.
Yes.
But guess what now? So here we have a '93 Mazda 626 is in a Ford Probe car, right? Two different car, right?
Yeah.
And two different years. So one is a 95, one 93. So just this week, the car would not start. And I went there and do my diagnosis. And I come to find out that the distributor is not sending any current out to those spark plugs, right?
Yeah.
So I called some places trying to find a a distributor. And you know, the car is a 95 Ford Pro. So when I called to ask for the part for that car, it can't work because the engine in it is a 93 Mazda 626.
Yes.
So the engine works, but the time will come when you realize it's
Yes.
it's a fake thing basically.
Yes.
It's temporary.
Yes.
You know, so that really match up with those Christians for real.
Perfectly.
And I hold my peace.
Matches perfectly, boss. Yeah. Yes, we have to be walking in obedience to the Father and to the Son, keeping the Father's commandments and walking in obedience to the Son, following the Son, following his example, as it says in 1 John 2:6. He that saith he abideth in him ought also to walk even as he walked. Or walk should be the walk of the Messiah. So we also now have to look at the coming of the Messiah to see the timeline. Matthew 24:29.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened,
All
and
right.
the moon shall not give her light.
All right. So you see this here. There shall come a time of trouble that is upon this earth. All right. And we know a time of trouble is upon the entire earth at this time. A great time of trouble. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened and the moon shall not give her light. This is the day of Yahuah. Continue.
And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
All right. Sun darkened, moon shall not give her light, stars fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then, verse 30.
And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
All right. So here's the timeline. You have a time of tribulation, then the sun darkened, and the moon and the stars and the powers of the earth, heaven shaken, and then shall see the sign of the Son of Man. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. Only one tribe will not be mourned, tribe of people that were mourning, the children of Israel, and those who cleave to Israel. The rest of the earth, the entire earth, are going to mourn. They're going to say, oh my, this was the Messiah that they were speaking about, and we're not ready for him. They're going to mourn, right, when they see the Son of Man coming. And he's not going to be coming as a lamb this time. He's going to be coming with power and great splendor, because he's going to be coming with his saints. Right? Verse 31.
And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of the earth to another.
All right, so this is what they call the rapture. This is what they call the rapture. When the Messiah shall gather together his elect, when the dead in Messiah shall rise to meet him, and his elect rise to meet him when he is coming. Supernatural transformation of his elect coming down with the Messiah. All right? Christians believe that this will be him taking people to heaven. No. He will be coming and he will be gathering his elect. All right? Should I look at the rapture? No, let's not look at it. Let's just look at what the Messiah will do when he will come. Let's keep up the progression. Let's look at what the Messiah will do when he comes. Matthew 25, verse 31.
Matthew 25, verse 31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory.
And what shall he do in verse 32? Go.
And before him shall be gathered all nations.
Okay, stop there. This is what we keep telling people. The Bible is about nations, not about religions. All right? Before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them. Them what? Them, those nations, one from the other. As a shepherd divides his sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Yes? It will be a dividing of nations when the Messiah comes. And if we want to see how the nations will be divided, we go to 2nd Baruch 72, which tells us exactly what the Messiah will do when he comes. Because you have a Sefer, Tracy?
I could grab it. Yeah, I may have my Sefer. Yep.
2nd Baruch 2, verse 72. This tells of what will happen to the nations when the Messiah returns. These books, you see, Baruch was Jeremiah's scribe. He was the one who would actually write the book of Jeremiah for Jeremiah. He also was a set-apart prophet of the Most High. And
what chapter in 2nd Baruch, Brother Brian?
72. His book, Baruch, is in the Apocrypha that was removed from the Bible. And this is the book of 2nd Baruch. The book of 2nd Baruch is very interesting in that it gives the entire end times and everything in more detail. It's a nice treasure, nice thing to read, nice book to read. 2nd Baruch 72, this tells us what will happen to the nations when the Messiah returns.
Found it. Here now also regarding the bright lightning, which is to come at the consummation after these black waters. This is the word.
This is actually speaking about? This is speaking about Baruch got a dream about a bright lightning. So it's explaining to him the dream. Verse 2.
After the signs have come, of which he were told before, when the nations become turbulent, and the time of my Mashiach is come. He shall both summon all the nation, and some of them he shall spare, and some of them he shall slay.
All right, so he shall summon all the nations. This is your Matthew 35, 30, 31 when he says, 32 when it says, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another as a shepherd divided the sheep from the goats. He shall spare some, and he shall kill some. Verse 3.
These things therefore shall come upon the nations which are to be spared by him.
Mm-hmm.
Every nation which knows not Yasharel and have not trodden down the seed of Jacob shall indeed be spared.
All right, so this is what is going to divide the nations in the end. All those people, all those nations, let's tell you it's about nations and it's about one nation, the children of Israel. All the nations, right? All the nations which know Israel and conspired to hide Israel or conspired to destroy Israel, they shall not be spared. Those nations who did not try to do us harm, they shall be spared. Verse 3, verse 5.
Verse 5, yeah. This because some of every nation shall be subjected to your people.
In other words, the reason they are being spared is because they are to serve the children of Israel. That is what verse 5 is saying, this because some out of every nation shall be subjected to your people. So out of every nation, the children of Israel, we have servants out of every nation. So that is why the Messiah is going to spare them. All right, verse 6.
But all those who have ruled over you or have known you shall be given up to the sword.
So this is what the Messiah says now in verse 41.
Then shall he say unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepare for the devil and his angels.
This is the destruction for those wicked countries who are against or were against the children of Israel. All right? Okay. But now, in our time, we have to be ready. As we said before, we have to be the wise virgins who are always ready, because there were warnings that were given to us that we have to be ready when the time of the Messiah comes. All right? We have to be ready for the day of Yahuah. Luke 21 verse 34.
And take heed to yourself,
Take heed.
lest at
Take heed. This is not a walk in the park. It's not an entitlement thing. You know, sit back and say, oh, I am a believer. Oh, I am an Israelite. Oh, I am a Christian. Oh, no, take heed. Verse 34.
lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting
Surfeiting.
and drunkenness,
Mm-hmm.
and the cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unawares.
All right. You don't want to be the foolish virgin that you hear that the bridegroom is coming, and then you are now desperately scrambling to get ready. No, you don't want it to come upon you unawares. And notice one of the things that makes it come upon you unawares. This is one of the common things, the cares of this life. This is one of the things why we cannot even be early for fellowship. Cares of life. We have this to do, we have that to do. Cares of life gets in the way. All right? We don't want that to happen. Verse 35.
For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth.
All right, so we see it shall come as a snare on all them. That is speaking of people from every nation, including the children of Israel. It's gonna come as a snare, because as Queenie said while we were in the video about the moon, Queenie said it shall come sudden. Yeah, suddenly it shall come upon them that dwell upon the face of the earth. And then they will be scrambling. We will be scrambling to get ready when it will be too late. All right? So here's the warning in verse 36. What does it say? 36.
Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that he may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man.
It is not an entitlement thing. Watch and pray always that he may be accounted worthy. It's not an entitlement. Not because you're an Israelite then you are accounted worthy because you're Israel and then everybody in Israel shall be saved. No. Watch and pray to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man. Make sure you are ready to stand before the Son of Man. Another warning, 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 1. We have to know that we have to be ready.
But of the times and the season, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahuah so cometh as a thief in the night.
Suddenly. Suddenly, according to Billy Ocean, suddenly it comes as a thief in the night. Verse 3, we always have to be ready on our P's and Q's every single moment. Verse 3.
For when they shall say, peace and safety, then suddenly destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Oh boy. But ye, he's speaking now to the set apart ones, the saints. But ye, brethren,
are not in darkness,
yes,
that the day should overtake you as a thief.
Yes.
Ye are all children of light, and the
Yes.
children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness.
In other words, we are called and set apart and following walking in the Messiah. All right? We should not be in darkness and be unaware of that which is to come upon the earth. Therefore, we shall be on our P's and Q's, and we will not be sleeping. Verse 6.
Therefore, let us not sleep, as do others, but let us watch and be sober.
All right. Continue.
For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night.
Yes.
But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love,
Uh-huh.
and for an helmet, and the hope of salvation.
Uh-huh.
For Yahuah hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Master, Yahushua HaMashiach,
Yeah.
who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him.
Uh-huh.
Wherefore, comfort yourselves together, and edifying one another, even as also ye do.
So we comfort one another that we are the children of light, and we are called to escape the wrath. All right? But we have to watch and be sober and pray always, and do not let the cares of life get us down. 2 Peter 3 verse 9, warning again. 2 Peter 3 verse 9. So we're just showing what we need to do to escape the wrath of Yahuah, which is inevitably coming. Verse 9.
Yahuah is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long-suffering to usward, not willing that anyone should perish, but that all should come to repentance.
The day of Yahuah now, verse 10.
But the day of Yahuah will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise,
All right,
and the elements shall melt.
This is a dream of the moons. This is a dream of the moons colliding. The dreams that our sisters got with the moons colliding. Continue.
And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The
Right.
earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up.
1209. Yes. So this is what is coming. So he's warning us in verse 11 as to how we should be. Seeing then
that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of person art he to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
All right. So now this time of this phase of this life, we are going through and we are seeing so many end time implications. We are seeing the world heading towards fulfilling so many biblical prophecies. And many of us are still out there, going along, continuing. Facebook is one of the things that indict us, and Instagram and WhatsApp, and we all over there, just continuing, just like the heathen, continuing posting all sorts of things that are not of Yahuah, right? Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? This is what we should be focusing on at this time. This is what the wise virgins are going to be focusing on. All holy conversation and godliness. Verse 12.
Looking for and hastening on the coming of the day of Yahuah.
So we should be looking for the day of Yahuah. So we should be in all holy conversation and godliness. Wherein, and he reminds us again, wherein what happens?
The heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt in fervent heat.
Yes. This now is a very powerful verse, because this is what we should be looking to. We should not be looking to find our place in this world, focusing our energies on what we can do or get or improve or increase in this world. Verse 13.
Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
So we should be looking for a world of righteousness, not to partake, not to be a part of this world, this evil world. All right? Because the world is evil.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Job 9:24. Read that, please.
Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
The world is given into the hand of the wicked, and he covered the face of the judges. He does every corrupt thing in order to sustain his wickedness. All right? And we were advised again in 1 John 2:15.
1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
All right, verse 16.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world.
All right. So that is what we should be focusing on, right? Not on the things of this world. 1 Timothy 6 verse 8, verse 6.
Yep, but godliness with content is great gain.
Godliness with contentment is great gain. 4 verse 7.
For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out.
Verse 8.
And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content.
This is where we are supposed to be in this day, when we see the order of the world being turned upside down. Right? This is where we are today. Whole system that is there of acquisition has been turned upside down. Verse 9.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
All right. So this is where we need to be. 2 Peter 3 verse 13. Who knows? Queen is gonna have a delay. Let me see how you work out, Queenie. Verse 13.
2 Peter verse 13. According to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness.
All right, so this is where we need to be. All right, and because of that, 1 Thessalonians 3 verse 13. Queenie, you're one noisy. Mercia, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, 1 Thessalonians, you can read from the screen?
From the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, read 1 Thessalonians 3:13, please.
To the end he may establish your hearts unblameable in holiness, Kodesha, unto Yahuah, even our Father, at the coming of the Mashiach with all his saints.
All right. So, to the end, he may establish your hearts. We have to be unblameable in holiness before Yahuah. Right? So, at his coming, we have to be found unblameable. Yes. Just got a message, so I was thrown off. Philippians 3 verse 18.
For many walk of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Messiah,
Whose end?
whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly,
Mm-hmm.
and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things.
All right, so this is what we don't want to be, right? We don't want our mighty one to be our belly, and we want to be in shame, and we do not want to be those who are minding earthly things.
Who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself.
All right, so as he says, we shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed in a moment, in a twinkle of an eye. Our bodies will be changed. All right? This is what we looked at today, looking at the day of Yahuah, looking at some prophecies of it happening in this time, looking at the importance of it, looking at how we overcome it, and looking at what we need to be, how we need to be, go for the tissue please, how we need to be to escape this day, tissue, the day of Yahuah. All right? I want to thank you for watching and asking you to subscribe to our channel for more of our videos. Okay, and please share our videos if you find them useful. All right, so shalom.